The featured company is a paid client of Proactive Group Holdings, and this recording is disseminated by Proactive on its behalf.
It also banned LFP technology and LFP components. So now the whole LFP battery supply chain, which our entire power grids rely on, robotics, automation, EVs, any form of mobility, is all based on this LFP battery.
All right, welcome back inside our Proactive newsroom. And joining me now is John Passalacqua. He is the CEO of First Phosphate Corp. And John, it's good to see you again. How are you?
Yeah, great. Thank you, Steve.
Yeah, so exciting news. You're going to be speaking at the 2025 Toronto Global Forum. And this is a sort of an economic forum. And maybe you can kind of explain what the conference will be about.
Yeah, so this is a forum that's been going on for a number of decades now. It brings together senior leaders across North America and the world to discuss topics of importance of the day. It's a very prestigious event. First Phosphate's going to be there. I think we're the only company at $200 million sub market cap. The next large companies are, banks, presidents of large organizations, $1 billion market cap companies. So it's really odd that a company like First Phosphate be invited out to speak at an event like this that is really for, kind of the Davos elite, if you will.
Yeah, your presentation will be called "Securing the Mineral Backbone of the Economy." Talk me through kind of the message you're bringing to the conference.
Yeah, well, the reason that they called us up, even though we're such a smaller market cap, is because of this, right? We were able to get from the rock, if you can see it here in Saguenay-Lac-Saint-Jean, Quebec, all the way to a finished battery, right? Which is exactly what we're looking to do in the Western world, which is to get from mine to market. So we were able to get from igneous phosphate rock, process it up about 6, 7, 8 steps, and to get to LFP finished products. And that's exactly what they're looking for to do in the Western world, to debuckle some of these supply chains. So that's exactly what we'll be speaking of, the company's experience and how we got to that. How did we develop that process?
Yeah, getting from obviously rock into battery is a process as you talked about, but it's also there's a lot of regulatory things around it and things like that that are outside of just actually getting the rock and turning it into a battery.
Yeah, I know there's a lot to it, but I mean, right now it's become critical because as of Friday, when China has come out and has banned rare earth exports to the West, especially the United States, it also banned LFP technology and LFP components. So now the whole LFP battery supply chain, which our entire power grids rely on,
Mhm.
robotics, automation, EVs, any form of mobility, is all based on this LFP battery. So basically, First Phosphate is probably the only company that's the most advanced in North America in terms of, bringing together that whole entire supply chain that goes from mine all the way to market. So yeah, we've had to get through all of those obstacles, but look at where we are now. We're the forerunner in terms of what North America needs in order to land this LFP battery supply chain in North America. So obviously, very, very, very important recital that I have tomorrow
Yeah.
at the Economic Forum.
Yeah, John, just on that part about China, we've talked about timelines and where you're at, and you're obviously have been through a pretty speedy timeline in getting to the point you're at right now. But knowing that what the wars that's going on between China and the United States, are there a lot of questions being asked about can you speed up the timelines? Can you get to this quicker than before? I mean, you've created a battery already. We've talked about that in the past, but are there a lot of push to try and get it there as quick as possible?
Yeah, so I mean, what our model is being looked at what First Phosphate's been able to do is exactly how across all these industries of national importance do you go from a mine all the way to the finished product, similar to the way that First Phosphate has done it. Probably one of the only companies in North America to have done this for any type of a supply chain. So we're being looked at as as a real model for what can the rest of North America do in terms of getting these mine to market type of initiatives going and how to fill in all the blanks along the way. So yes, very, 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 very important. The philosophy, the methodology that has brought First Phosphate to do this.
All right. Well, we'll enjoy the conference. Securing the mineral backbone of the economy is the talk. And thanks for your time today, John. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Steve. Really appreciate it.
All right. There's John Passalacqua, the CEO of First Phosphate Corp.
The featured company is a paid client of Proactive Group Holdings, and this recording is disseminated by Proactive on its behalf. It is for informational purposes only and does not constitute investment advice, an offer, or a solicitation to buy or sell any securities. Viewers should conduct their own research and consult a qualified financial advisor before making investment decisions. The views expressed are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect those of Proactive Group Holdings, trading as Proactive Investors or its affiliates. No responsibility is accepted for any loss arising from reliance on the information presented.